Shalom, shalom, Israel. Right, first and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashak Womanak Yabushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that's going out there, they're laboring. They're presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. They're enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, freezing below codes, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. Shalom, shalom. Want to give another strong shalom to the Akwath, all right, the sisters that are at home and they're reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, and the unmarried sisters as well, being tender, delicate, and on fire for the Most High God. Shalom. Want to give a last but not least another strong shalom to the mighty teenagers and children in this truth, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure. And shalom to everybody that's tuning in to the live stream. Vernon Brody, Don Israel, Ramah, Izzy, Shalom King, and everybody that will tune in, most High willing. And the topic of this cold cut is titled, 3 Terrible Sayings That You Don't Want to Hear from Yahushua on Judgment Day. We have as many different sayings that the Lord has listed in the scriptures, but you chiefly have 3 sayings that you do not want to receive from Christ on Judgment Day. Now, Judgment Day is going to fall upon every one of us. I have to deal with Judgment Day. You have to deal with Judgment Day. Your next door neighbors has to deal with Judgment Day. Your boss has to deal with Judgment Day. Your family has to deal with Judgment Day. All men must appear before the judgment seat. That's written. Let's get that real fast to kick it off. Because everybody has to, Judgment Day is not everybody just getting it individually. No, everybody's going to have to appear when the Lord returns. And it's going to be said what's what. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. All right, let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 10. It reads, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ." So everybody has to appear before the judgment seat. Don't think in your head one time that the Lord is not going to judge you. Whether you have done great works, evil works, you was lukewarm, you just coming in this thing, you've been in this thing a long time, everybody has to get judged. So all must appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, because every single action and thing that you do is being weighed. You have angels writing down things right now as we speak of what you're doing. Don't think that your actions don't have consequences, life or death, that's predicated to them. It says, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So whether your deeds is good or bad, we all must appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua. And Yahushua in Judgment Day, he's going to say a lot of different sayings, but this all is biblical. And in that day, whatever the Lord say, that's going to either make your spirit or break your spirit. Because the words have power in them. The things that you say has power in them. Let's go to the book. Before we get into it, let's go to the book of Proverbs. Right, one of my favorite classic precepts. Right, this is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse number 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So death and life are all in the power of the tongue. By the words which you say and you speak out your mouth, you could declare life or you could declare death. The choice is yours, man. And you could hurt somebody's feelings with the words that you say. You could uplift somebody with the words that you say. If I'm at the plantation, we just got done working hard, and I say, hey, good work today, boys. Everybody's all like, yes, sir. All right. Yeah, hey, let's get right. We just get ready for tomorrow. That might uplift somebody's spirit. If I tell somebody out and randomly, hey, you look disgusting, you get on my nerves, that might break their spirit. So words have meaning to them. For a righteous woman, she want to make sure she has wisdom and comfort in her tongue, because she could make or break and destroy a man verbally. So words have power in them. And the Lord said, let's go to Matthew chapter 12. The Lord said, by thy words shall I be justified. By thy words shall I be condemned. That's out the Lord's mouth. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 12 and verse number 36. And it reads, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words shall thou be justified, and by thy words shall thou be condemned. So by words, you can either be justified or condemned in the eyes of the Lord. You have instances where men in the scriptures, let's get an account with the mighty faithful man Stephen. Let's go to Acts chapter 7. Right? Acts chapter 7 and verse number 52. It says, which other prophets have ye not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which shew before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye now been the betrayers and murderers, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. So Stephen is getting on these men of Israel. He's going in a long list. He's naming, it's like he's naming the things from Abraham all the way during the time leading up to now. How have they been conducting? They have not been abided in the faith. They have not kept the commandments of the Lord. They only persecuted the prophets. It says what? But he being full of the Holy Ghost. Well, I'm going to start at verse 53. Who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. When they heard these words, they were cut to the heart. So certain words that you hear that somebody might say, it could cut you, man. It could break your spirit. Or it could exhort you to get on fire. Somebody might say something. Yeah, I got, you need to step it up a little bit. Da, 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 da. That might boost, that might put that zeal on you. Brother might say, yeah, you've been slothful. You might be on a suspension if you don't pick it up. Boom, that might kind of cut you to the heart and say, dang, I have been slothful. Brother might get on you. You get cut to the heart with the precepts. So words have power to them. That's the whole point, right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 4 and 12. And the word, Yahushua is the word, man. He's literally the word that was what? Made flesh. Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 4. So if anybody is going to say something that could make or break your spirit directly, it's Yahushua, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. If the Lord might say something, boom, you might just fall into pieces. The Lord could say something that put you on fire. The Lord could say something, make you feel comforted. So let's go to Hebrews chapter 4. Right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 4. Right? This is Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Now that we know Yahushua is the word, it says, even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So the word of God could literally cut your spirit asunder. And it's three terrible words sayings rather, that you do not want to receive. If you receive these words from Judgment Day, it's wraps for you. It's over with. It's no hope. What words you want to receive on Judgment Day? You want to receive, okay, well done, good and faithful servant. That's one of the sayings you want to hear on Judgment Day. Come up hither. All right? You want to hear sayings like that. But if you hear these terrible, terrifying sayings, it's over for you, man. It's wraps. You might as well, everything you did was in vain. You wasted your time. You didn't fulfill your duty while you was on this earth as a servant of the Lord. And any one of us, hey, I could get this saying if I don't do what I'm supposed to do. You can, your family, So let's go straight into it. Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 7th chapter. Right, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse number 17. All right, Matthew 7 and 17. It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So if you're evil, if you're doing evil, 9 times out of 10, you was meant to do, you're evil. All right. If you're a good person through the spirit, have integrity, good qualities, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a good person. Because an evil man is not going to be producing good works. A good work of a good tree is not going to be producing evil works. It says, whereby their fruit shall you know them. Not everyone that said unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. So everybody that's saying, Lord, Lord, that's calling upon the name of the Lord, that's saying, hey, all praise to the Most High and the Son Yahushua, they're not going to get the kingdom. Don't let a lot of brothers fool you, man. Don't let a lot of sisters fool you. A lot of people in this truth, they play pretend. They not really in this thing for real. They don't care. Their heart is not with the Most High. Don't be fooled. It says, verse 22, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in that name? You're going to have men saying, Lord, I prophesied in your name. I taught this brother about you. I taught this sister about you. Hey, I kept the commandments for you, Lord. I had on my fringes, even when I didn't want to put them on. All right? I grew my beard out for you. I read all of these chapters. I was on the highways and byways. It says, I did overtime camps. I stayed up late breaking down the word. It says, and in thy name cast out many devils. You didn't probably shook the hand at somebody. You literally casted out a devil. You told that person, you got a spirit on you. It says, and in thy name done many wonderful works. You might have done wonderful works in Israel, man. All right. Confounded somebody, magnified the name of the Most High. Exalted his name. Caught fire. Prayed, called upon his name, fasted and screamed out his name. Gave alms. You might have done many wonderful works. Taught thousands of people. But it says what? Verse 23, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. So one of these sayings that you won't want to hear from Judgment Day by Christ is, I never knew you. Because what's going to happen is, you're going to think that you're going to inherit the kingdom. Deep down inside, you're going to know if not. But you're going to have certain people, they're going to think they're going to inherit. All hell is going to break loose. They're going to be on Judgment Day. They thinking they're going to make it. Christ is going to say, I never knew you. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you is. Who are you? Where you from? Nah, I don't recognize you. Imagine that. A person that you really, really love. Take, for example, a significant other. You might have a significant other. You invested time into this person. You done spent 10 plus years with this person. You done had children with this person. You done been through HELL and back with this person. For one day, and that person disappears. And then you see this person 5 years later with a whole nother family. And you say, well, hold on, where did you go? And that person say, I don't know who you are. I don't even recognize you anymore. How would you feel? You're going to feel upset. You're going to feel sad, depressed, angry. And the Lord is going to say to certain men, I don't know you. I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Why? Because these men were hypocrites. They didn't do the will of the Father. They was pretending to do it, but actually, whether you by yourself, these men, they wasn't doing the will of the Father. These sisters wasn't doing the will of the Father. These children / teenagers wasn't doing the will of the Father. They was enjoying the pleasures of this world, then acting like they know the Lord. And guess what? The Lord is going to say, imagine your own creator, the creator that created you, to say, guess what? I don't even know you. You got denied by everything else in this world. You got denied by your family. You've been outcast by people in this world. Your job denied you. Everybody denied you. Just for you in the last day for your creator to say, I don't know you. Let's go to Titus chapter 1. That's terrible. If I hear those words, I'm gonna just give up the ghost. It's really nothing I could do. Can't fast. I can't be sorrowful, not eat and drink for 3 days. You hear that phrase, you might as well just roll over and die. I mean, it's nothing you could come back from. Let's go to the book of Titus, chapter 1. And you got to fear that sin. You got to fear that word. If you read that, depart from me, I never knew you, ye that work iniquity, and you don't get the chills after reading that, you're not in the right spirit, man. You read Matthew 7:21, you should start getting chills down your spine. All right? Hoping and begging that the Lord don't say that to you. This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 16. It says, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient unto every good work, reprobate. So you have certain people that are actually reprobates. All right? They think in their head that they're doing the will of God, but they're not. You have certain people, they profess that they know God, but guess what? In works, it deny him. Because if you say you believe in something, you must needs have actions. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 32 and 24. Can't say you believe in something and you don't have actions. Now, we use this verse a lot of time for Christians. Absolutely. This verse does apply to the Christian church. Those pretenders. But this is for you brothers and sisters that's in the truth, man. That's proclaiming to be holy, but you're not holy. You're sinful. And you don't even, you're a liar. You're a pretender, man. You're literally a hypocrite. What else are you? You're a fugazi, as they say. All right. Hey, they'll say you fugazi, man. You fake. You phony. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 32. You acting. You're an actor. Right? This Sirach 32 and 24. It says, he that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandments. So if you truly believe in something with no excuses at all, two-faced, like the brother say, yeah, you one-sided. You wishy-washy. You iffy. Nobody want an iffy person around them, man. Somebody that's iffy, that might fold, might bend. Like, we don't want that person around us, man. It says, he that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to commandment. With no excuses. If you really believe in something, you're going to do it. You're going to have some type of actions. If you want to be a boxer, you're not just going to believe that and have no actions. You're going to be in the gym. You're going to be doing suicides. You're going to be jump roping. If you want to be a singer, you're going to be listening to playlists, DVDs, the old singers, new singers in the studio. If you believe in this truth, you're going to be keeping the commandments. You're not going to be a hypocrite. You're not going to be somebody that professes to know God, but in works, you're doing a complete opposite. It says, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse. So again, you really believe in something, you're going to do it. Believe in this truth, you got to keep the commandments. You got to do what the Lord told you to do. Let's go to Luke chapter 6 and 46. Right? Let's go to the book. Hey, that's the ultimate heartbreak. All right, Jake get in his world. He lets Eve take his heart captive and run all over it. Now your woman then cheated on you, you depressed. You saying, dang, that she kind of said some words to you and it hurt your. She said those words, I don't want to be with you. I don't love you anymore. What if you wake up one morning, your wife just say, I don't love you anymore? Guess what? Those are the type of words that you gonna get sad after that. Guess what? The words of I never knew you, depart from me, is gonna be 10 times, 100 times worse than that. That's gonna be the real heartbreak, the ultimate heartbreak. And you think the Lord is not shy. Hey, the Lord, his voice is as the sound of many waters. That's Revelation chapter 1 and 15. So if the Lord say to you, I never knew you, it's going to be with authority. It's going to be with boldness. And it's just, you can't even fathom that type of phrase being said by Yahushua. Because you would bug out trying to go in depth. This is the book of Luke chapter 6 and 46. It says, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? A lot of these concepts, when you read the scriptures, it might take a while, but it's very simple. The Lord constantly through the Bible says, do keep my commandments and live. Do what I tell you to do, basically. And it's all going to be for your good. Choose ye this day, whether you want to live or not. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. Thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Then thou shalt be prosperous, have good success. These are the book of the commandments of the Lord. All they that keep it will come to life. The Lord is very plain on what he says. So if you're saying Lord, Lord, and you're not doing the things that he's telling you to do, what the hell are you doing? Do what the Lord tells you to do, man. The Lord tells you to be a brother's keeper, be a brother's keeper. The Lord tells you don't operate in the spirit of anger. Don't be wrathful. If the Lord tell you to be obedient to your husbands, submit yourselves, do what the Lord tell you to do. If the Lord say don't be a hypocrite, don't be a hypocrite. If the Lord say to magnify his name with all thy heart, soul, and mind, do that. If the Lord say pray without ceasing, do that. If the Lord say fast unto me, do that. A lot of these concepts is not hard, but man makes it more harder than what it already is through temptation. Now, reading on, it says, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So if you saying Lord, Lord, and you're not doing the things which Yahushua is telling you to do, you don't even call him Lord, man. Don't call upon the name of the Yahweh. That's really how it's supposed to be. Now, we have mercy and grace, and we don't want to offend the brother. But if we really talk, being real, you're not even supposed to be naming the name Yahushua if you're in iniquity. You will have to depart from iniquity first, and then you can name the Lord. Let's go to that in 2 Timothy chapter 2. If we really want to be technical and strive for the masteries. Now, if you don't want to strive for the masteries, that's all right. You're going to have to take that up with, who you take that up with. But if you want to strive for the masteries, you naming the Lord Yahushua, you're going to make sure no iniquity is found in your hand. It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let every one that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. So if you name in the name of Christ, you must depart from iniquity. Let's go to the book of Romans. All right, let's go to the book of Romans, the 2nd chapter. All right, Romans chapter 2 and verse number, I'm going to start at verse 1. Therefore thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judgest. For when thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judgest doeth the same thing. So you have a lot of men, they're judges. They like to judge brothers. But the things that they judging brothers on, they doing the same thing. Brother getting on you for not smoking, but this same brother that's getting on you, he's struggling with that same demon. All right. We all have been hypocrites. All right. I've been a hypocrite before. But we don't love that. That spirit doesn't feel good. So we don't operate in that spirit. You tell a brother, yeah, you can't be buying or selling on the Shabbat. Next thing you know, you're the same brother that's buying and selling on the Sabbath. You saying, yeah, or not even just one Pacific. It could be any sin. Yeah, you can't be covetous. But yet, you dealing with a spirit that's worse than covetous, man. You into adultery, looking at other men's wives. Yeah, you got to do this with your kids, but you're not doing this with your children. Yeah, you got to have discipline. Well, brother, you don't have discipline. Yeah, you got to just be mighty. Brother, you're not mighty. What are you talking about? Yeah, you got to pray. Brother, you don't pray at all. Brothers got to make sure they read. But hold on, brother, you not reading. So you doing these things, the Lord said, thou that condemnest thyself, for thou that judgest, doest the same things. Right? But we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. You want to make sure you judge and according to truth. Because the Lord is going to rend you every man according to his deeds. And you had the Pharisees that was operating in the spirit. I want to jump down to verse 13, Romans 2 and 13. It says, for not the hearers of the law are justified before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. So just because you hear the word, whether that's at camp, a video online, a brother on the street teaching, only doers of this law is justified. If you don't do this word to the T, to your best ability, you're not justified. A lot of times in our head, we think we justified. Yeah, I done did A, B, and C for the day. Man, I feel good. I'm in the spirit. But hold on, it's more. You got to show consistency. It's way more greater things after this. Right, let's go to James chapter 1. Right, let's go to the book of James chapter 1. All right, let's go to the book of James chapter 1 and I'm on verse 22. And it reads, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Yeah, because when you be a hearer only of the word and not a doer, you deceiving yourself. You're leaking oil. You don't even know that you're leaking oil. You just leaking oil. You still think you got all the precepts in your head. Whole time the precepts is leaving you slowly. Well, you said, well, I'm around the brothers, I'm going to camp, I'm in a group chats. Well, that brother, that don't mean anything. You deceiving yourself, man. You're not deceiving the Lord. You're not deceiving man. You think you are, which you can be. But at the end of the day, you deceiving yourself. You playing yourself. You're not living up to your true potential. You downplaying yourself, man. You're not holding yourself up with any preeminence. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. That's plain. You looking into a glass, you looking at yourself, you walk away, then you forget how you look. It was no profit. That looking that you didn't profit anything because you forgot it. It leaked out. It left you. That's what's going to happen leading all the way up to the second coming of Yahushua. And that day, judgment day, the Lord is going to tell you, I don't know who you are. You got to get the hell away from me. Ye that work iniquity. Because the Lord hates sin. We might think we hate sin. Man, that's off. Look, certain sins I absolutely hate. All right. I hate them cigarettes. Cigarettes is one of the worst. I hate that smell. I hate everything about cigarettes. Whoredom. You think of something you really have a strong hatred for. Esau, that don't compare to the hatred that the Lord got for evil. So even he's seeing one little iniquity, he's gonna utterly look at that abominably. Certain brothers, they play around evil, man. They entertain evil. They, it's not that bad. They indulge in it, kind of, taste it a little bit. No, the Lord hates evil. So when he say, get the hell away from me, I don't know you, he really mean that. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's get one more before we move on. All right, let's go to Sirach chapter 34. So again, if you don't want the Lord to tell you, depart from me, I never knew you, don't be a hypocrite. Do what the Lord asks you to do. Right? It's the book of Sirach chapter 34 and verse number, I believe that's Sirach 37. Come on, Sirach chapter 37 and verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, yet is unprofitable to himself. You don't want to be unprofitable unto yourself. You teaching many, you holding classes. It's like you're some type of professor. Men are coming to you asking questions. You kind of just sitting back like this, answering them. Got your glasses on. You teaching many, but you're not a good teacher to yourself. All right, let's go to Job real quick. I want to get this precept in Job chapter 13. That's going to link up with the book of Matthew. On Job chapter 13 and verse number 16. It says, he also shall be my salvation, for a hypocrite shall not come before him. So a hypocrite can't come before the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. Now, that's the first terrible sin you don't want to hear from Yahweh Shai. Let's go into the second. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22. All right. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22. All right. Matthew chapter 22 and verse number, I'm going to start at verse 9. All right, Matthew 22 and 9. It reads, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. All right, so the Lord it's a wedding coming. The Lord told these men, hey, go into the highways and byways, bring as many as you can to the wedding. All right, these represent the men of the Lord that go out on the highways and byways, teaching and preaching. All right, it says, so those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which not had on a wedding garment. So when you go to an actual wedding, I'm pretty sure they give you a certain attire to wear. All right, you at a wedding, you wear all black. You got the tuxedo, etc. Now the Lord gave us all a garment. That wedding garment represents the garment that the Lord gave you when you first came into the truth. Everybody has a garment. Let's go to the book of Revelation. Let's prove that. Let's go to the Revelation chapter 3. All right, this Revelation chapter 3 and verse number 18. Right? It says, I counsel thee to buy of me of the gold tried in a fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. So when you came into the truth, you bought these certain things. You bought the eye salve. You bought the gold tried in the fire, which represents the affliction that you went through. And you also bought a garment, an all-white garment. That garment is your spiritual clothing to keep you covered, that you don't being naked which represents sin. So once you put on that garment, which is righteousness, you have to keep that garment all white. This man, he came into the wedding, he didn't even have his garment on. It says, verse 12, Matthew 22 and 12. And he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Meaning, why don't you have the proper attire on? Why don't you have righteousness on? How the garment that I first gave you in this shoe, how is that dirty? Not that this man made up an excuse. You gonna have certain people, they gonna try to make up an excuse. It was dirty. I had to wash. Yeah, I had to wash my clothes. I couldn't find anything else. Yeah, I didn't have time to go to the store and, the Lord not trying to hear that. The best thing this man did, well, he really should have just kind of owned up to it. But, he was confounded. He was speechless. It says, verse 13, Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Hey, that's the second terrible phrase you don't want to hear from Yahushua. Take him cast him into outer darkness. It shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what the Lord is going to tell a lot of people. Go cast this man into outer darkness. Why? Because you played around. You got the garment of the Lord dirty. Whether you was dabbling with different doctrines, you had a doctrine spirit on you. The Lord gave you the right doctrine. You just dabbling into any doctrine. Now you just believe heathens could be saved. You don't even believe in Christ anymore. You're Old Testament only. You believe every woman should have, a woman can have more than one husband. You into all of these strange doctrines. Yeah, we ain't gonna be going to get into that doctrine, but you got a lot of different madness doctrines, and you getting into it. You believe in you don't believe in the angels no more. You stop believing in you don't believe in a resurrection. All right, you believe that the mark of the beast is a damn chip. What else? You just believe in all type of You believe we came from monkeys. You dabble into doctrines. So guess what? The Lord is going to say, cast that man into outer darkness. And you know what's in outer darkness? You know why it's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth? You know why it's going to be that? Because you're going to have certain men, they're going to be weeping and gnashing due to the thermonuclear fire that they suffering. Because the Lord toss you out, you're going straight into the lake of fire. Let's go to that in Revelation. All right. The brother said Matthew 25 and 11. All right, we gonna go to that. All right. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 20. All right, Revelation chapter 20 and verse number 15. Well, I'm gonna start at 14. It says, And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So you in that lake of fire, you going to be gnashing, man. Weeping. Hey, in that lake of fire, you're going to have people screaming. You're going to have people cursing out the Lord. They're going to be flicking off the middle finger to the Most High. They're going to still not going to repent. All right. They're going to be going off. Let's go to the book of Zechariah. When that fire consumed their flesh, a lot of people, they're going to turn into a damn demon, man. Screaming at the top of their lungs. All right, this is the book of Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Imagine your eyes, you in a lake of fire, your eyes just start melting inside your eyeballs. Your tongue start melting inside of itself. Your skin and your flesh start getting all hot. You like the Wicked Witch of the East on down Wizard of I believe that's Wizard of Oz. Like the Wicked Witch, she just kind of melting down. That's how a man gonna be in a lake of fire. So if the Lord say, hey, cast this man out into outer darkness, it's gonna be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You already know what time, you already know where you're going. Thus saith the Lord. That's why we encourage brothers and sisters to make sure your garment is clean. Make sure you repenting. Make sure when the Lord come back, you out on the right attire. Or else you're going to be naked and they going to see your shame. Let's go to that in the book of Revelation. Chapter 16, verse number 15. All right, this Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and see his shame. So that man in Matthew chapter 22, he didn't keep his garments. And indeed, he showed up to a wedding with no wedding garment, and the Lord cast him out. And when you read this, hey, that was the Lord's friend, man. Right, let's go to Matthew 22 and 12. It says, and he said unto him, friend. So, hey, this was probably the Lord's friend. Hey, no, it was the Lord's friend. The Lord called this man his friend. Yet, even that show you, even one of the friends of the Lord, they don't have on the right. Now, you would think, well, hold on, this the Lord's friend. Maybe, if that was your friend, he pulled up to your wedding without a wedding, you might give him a pass. Now, you going to ask him, well, hold on, why you don't got your garment on, bro? You cool? Is you cool? Man, you got to go change. You might give him a pass. Guess what? This was the friend of the Lord. The Lord didn't give him a pass because the Lord not playing around. He not playing games. So if you don't have on his wedding garment, the Lord is going to say, bind him hand and foot, cast him out into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? That's the second terrible phrase that you don't want to hear from Yahushua. Now let's go into the third one. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Chapter 25. All right. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Chapter 25 and verse number 26. All right, it says, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reaped where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. So if you're wondering about this, you got something called the parable of the talents. You can link this up with Luke as well. But when you read Matthew, I'm going to start at verse Matthew 25. And just for context, 14. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto him his goods. And unto him one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So the Lord gave everybody talents. The Lord gave me talents, gave you talents, the person next to you talents, the person in your camp talents, person that's not in your camp talents. If you in this truth, you have talents that the Lord gave you. Now it depends on the talents. One brother might have 10 talents. A sister might have 7 talents. One sister might have 1 talent. Another brother, he might have 3 talents. So it's diverse. It's not just one. Now with these talents, the Lord wants you to trade those talents. He wants you to multiply those talents. He wants you to flip those talents. All right. Increase those talents. Reading on. It says, verse 16, then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Likewise, he that had received two, he gained other two. But he that received one went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. And what this represents is the talents that the Lord gave you right now. You are supposed to flip those talents. You might start it off with 3 talents. You flip that, next thing you know, that's 6 talents. You might have started off with 1 talent. You flip that, that's 4 talents. You're supposed to stir up the talents that the Lord gave you. If you don't know what those talents is, you got to find it out. You can't ask another one, hold on, bro. You know my talents? You can ask somebody that. But at the end of the day, you got to find that out yourself. So when the Lord came back, which represents his second coming, where he will give out his rewards to those people that serve talents, he will get rewards in the kingdom of heaven. It says, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. So you're going to say, you know what? You did flip your talents while you was on this earth. Well done. You was faithful in few. I'm going to make you faithful over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. What's the joy of the Lord? The kingdom of heaven. All right. That's like your people saying, come on, your family saying, come on, we go in the sky zone. When you hear those words, that's joyful to you. Because you're about to have fun. When the Lord say enter into the joy of the Lord, guess what? You're about to enter into this kingdom, his everlasting kingdom with many mansions. Now, when we jump down to where we started in verse 25, verse 24, it says, then he which have received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast is that is thine. So this man hid his talent. He was slothful. Basically, he didn't even try. He didn't even try to flip his talents. He was, modern day, he was sitting on the couch behind a keyboard. This man was sitting at home. This man wasn't reading. He couldn't have been praying. He probably wasn't fasting either. This man just was slothful. He didn't put any effort in. It says, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant. Thou, imagine the Lord call you, if the Lord call you slothful, that means you really slothful. There's no getting around that. All right. Right, your dad might say you lazy, man. And you in your head, you like, I'm not lazy. What are you talking about? If the Lord say you lazy and you slothful, is no getting around that. You gotta accept that. You gotta take heed. You gotta take heed to that. Because there's no way the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, gotta tell you that you slothful. If he tell you slothful, you're slothful. It's no, I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean, I don't see it. No, the Lord say you slothful, you slothful. It says, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not straw. Because a lot of brothers and sisters, you know that the Lord is coming back to receive, to gather up his, his prize that he gave you, his talents. A lot of brothers, they know the prophecies. Sisters, they know the prophecies. It says, thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I shall receive my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him that have 10 talents. And guess what, man? That's another scary, that's the third terrible phrase you don't want to hear from the Lord. Hey, take what this man had, hey, give it to this man. That's better than him. That's scary, man. The Lord takes something from you and give it to somebody else that's going to do better than you. It says, verse 29, for everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away, even that which he have. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right. So if the Lord say, guess what? Take what this man has and give it to the next man. Hey, that's another. We gonna just break down crying. I mean, that's scary, man. Let's go to the book of First Samuel. All right. Let's go to the book of First Samuel, the classic, chapter 15. All right. First Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 28. All right, what time is it? All right, First Samuel 15 and 28. It says, and Samuel said unto him, the Lord have rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and have given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou. So it's always somebody, that's better than you. That's a brother, in the truth, he's better than you. Now, he might not be at the same level as you. He's lower than you. He's probably just coming into this thing. But he's going to surpass you in this truth. He's going to supersede you. And he's going to keep growing and growing and shining as the stars of heaven and his bright lights. And he's going to always keep glowing while you are going to decrease. Why? Because the Lord gave you something and you didn't act on it. And anything, you're just keeping it barred up and you're not maximizing your ability in this truth. So the Lord is going to take the Holy Spirit from you, or you don't even have to not maximize it. You could be disobedient like Saul. You could be in this truth, be disobedient. The Lord is going to take his spirit from you. You could be in this truth, be a hypocrite. The Lord is going to take his spirit from you. You could be in this truth and not raise your family or your household correctly. The Lord could take his spirit from you and he's going to give it to somebody else that is going to raise his household correctly. That is going to be a father to the fatherless. That is going to be righteous. That is going to have a fear of God. That is going to pray to them. That is going to pray to him 5+ times a day. That is going to fast to him 2 times a week. That is going to show up to the feast days. That is going to call and check up on brothers. That is going to give righteous counsel. That's not going to be lustful. The Lord is going to take that spirit from you, snatch it from you, tell one of the watchers to hew you down, and give that spirit and that talent to the next person. We see it all the time. We've seen it before, man. Let's go to the book of 2 Kings. All right, let's go to the book of 2 Kings. Actually, that might be 2 Chronicles. Let's see. All right, 2 Chronicles, chapter 2. Actually, that's not. Maybe 1 Chronicles. All right, so lucky while bear with me while I find this precept. Maybe 1 Kings. All right. Yep, this first Kings chapter 2 and verse number 32. I'm gonna start at verse 31. This 1 Kings 2 and 31. And the king said unto him, do as he hath said, and fall upon him, and bury him, that thou mayest take away the innocent blood which Joab shed from me and from the house of my father. And the Lord shall return his blood upon his own head. Talking about Joab, who fell upon 2 men more righteous and better than he, and slew them with the sword, my father David not knowing thereof, to wit Abner the son of Ner, captain of the hosts of Israel, and Amasa the son of Jether, captain of the hosts of Judah. So you had a Massa and Abner that was better than Joab. All right. And the Lord always have somebody that's better than you. Even if you a sister, man, the Lord, it's women that's more righteous than you. I'm just being honest. And there's a lot more women than men on this planet. It's sisters that's going to, your husband that you have right now, if you don't do a great job and the fear of the Lord, taking care of him, the Lord is going to have another sister that's going to do 10, she's going to be a 10 times better wife than you are. If you're unmarried and you're a sister, it's going to be a sister out there that's going to serve God 10 times more than you are. It's an easy thing in the sight of the Lord for you to get replaced. Let's go to the book of Esther. All right, don't just think, well, I'm a sister, I'm an Eve in this truth. No, you can you're more likely to get replaced than a brother is. All right, let's go to the book of Esther. All right, this is Esther chapter 1 and verse number 19. It says, if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before the king Ahasuerus. Because Vashti, guess what? She rejected King Ahasuerus. And the king, he didn't play that. He didn't tolerate that disrespect in his kingdom. It says, and let the king give her a royal estate unto another that is better than she. So it was somebody that was better than Vashti. Who was better than Vashti? Esther was. Vashti got replaced. She got kicked out of the kingdom. Who came in next? Esther. King Saul, he was disobedient to the Lord. Who came up next after him? David. Joab had authority, was wicked. The Most High killed him. You already had two men that was better than him, Abner and Amasa. So the Lord could say, guess what? Take that which thou hast from that man and give it to another man. Again, that's the third terrible saying from Yahushua that you don't want to hear in the day of judgment. All right. But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Lord willing, this video is edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, study. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his mercy. With that, I'm going to say shalom.